You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Building tomorrow today with Rightmove. Looking for quality, reliability, and innovation in your next big build? Choose Rightmove Engineering and Construction, Sierra Leone's trusted name in transforming ideas into enduring structures. We don't just build projects, we craft landmarks that stand the test of time. From state-of-the-art offices and modern homes to fuel stations, water systems, and infrastructure, our team delivers precision, passion, and perfection. At Rightmove, we are not following industry standards, we are setting them. Through cutting-edge technology, uncompromising safety, and sustainable solutions, we are building a brighter, stronger, and safer Sierra Leone. Visit us at 54 Campbell Street, Freetown, or call 078399475 or 077504338. Rightmove Engineering and Construction. Building quality, building trust, building the future.
Freetown City Council public notice enforcement of frontage cleanliness. The Freetown City Council FCC has observed with serious concern that many owners and occupiers of buildings within the municipality of Freetown continue to neglect the cleaning and maintenance of their frontages, premises, and private drainage systems. In several instances where cleaning is attempted, waste is left piled near drainages, creating an unsightly, unhealthy, and unenvironmentally hazardous condition. Part 3 of the Freetown City Council Solid Liquid Waste and Collection Bylaws 2024, Clause 8, Subsection 1A clearly states, an owner or occupier shall maintain and keep clean his frontage, premises, and private drainage systems. Clause 8, Subsection 2 further provides that an owner or occupier who contravenes sub-relegations 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5,000 new leones or to imprisonment for not exceeding 6 months or to both fine or imprisonment. The Freetown City Council hereby informs the public that full enforcement of the city bylaws has commenced. The FCC Metropolitan Police have been deployed across the municipality to monitor compliance, conduct routine patrols, and document violations. Any individual, business, or institution found contravening the above provisions will face immediate penalties, including fines not exceeding 5,000 new leones, imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months, or both fine and imprisonment as provided by law. A clean city is not only a legal obligation, it is a shared responsibility. When residents fail to maintain their frontages or misuse public spaces, the entire city suffers the consequences. FCC therefore urges all residents, businesses, and institutions to cooperate fully and maintain their surroundings. A clean city begins with you. Maintain your frontage, dispose your waste properly, respect public spaces, and obey the law.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the midweek edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty TV. And we will bring this edition come to you this Wednesday morning. Mina Khadija Bangora.
And Mina Mebel Kaba. Good morning.
Today on Wednesday, the 22nd day of April 2026. Inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, today we can hear from governments. After all the dialogue we don't happen from the international moral guarantors, then we don't come and don't go back. Government own position inside all the dialogue then they will happen. You go know inside this edition of the Breakfast Show. And also, say last week we been talked to the manager for LAJ. We been confirmed say they go get the A24 na so a day show. Well, they don't cancel this show. Waiting happen when they cancel the show. We go also talk to the manager again when I argue. We go tell una waiting happen we make they don't cancel the LAJ in na so a day A24 show.
All right, yesterday King Boss Ele be supposed for appear na the Bo Magistrate Court. But information we there out there that the magistrates not been in a seat and the case not been come up, then being adjourned to the 28th of this month, April. Midnight, a management pool a press release for said that they cancel the show we supposed for happen this Friday. Waiting be the reason them we make them cancel the show because as of the last time we talked to Agu, we now the manager for King Boss Ele be sure we say with or without King Boss Ele, the show go happen eventually. Well, they don't issue out a press release from the management. We say that they cancel the show and the other projects them where they be supposed for pull out during the show when a documentary and also a book. All of that we can know how far with them projects they are. Well, we get Agu on the line. We're the manager for King Boss LA for give you updates. It's not the reason behind the cancellation of the A24 show with the title Naso a Day and so many other things them where they go on now because we see the first time the management again being pulled a press release who said and they apologize to the mayor for Kenema City where actually now the complainants na this case. Good morning, Agu. Hello, Agu. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yesterday, you boss King Boss LA be supposed for appear na the Bo Magistrate Court, and so many information they out there. Say the magistrate say he's sick, the complainant say he's sick, appear na court. What exactly be happen yesterday?
If probably I'm correct. I don't want to fully assert that I'm correct in this information, but the information we received was that the magistrate was out of office due to health. Due to health, let me just keep it at that. I can't say, I can't confirm or like pinpoint what the situation is, but the magistrate was not present yesterday at all. So the case was adjourned, I mean, without even a question, because the magistrate that was sitting on the case was not available or at the scene. However, the mayor was there, from what I understand, because I didn't make it into the court. Because it was the weather was hot anyway.
Before the courts for be resumed yesterday, una be don they do some behind the scene negotiations. Family then be don't get involved for try for talk to the mayor when the complainants for withdraw the case and Leona gets out of court settlements. All of their efforts they are on they make, una they able for achieve any good result?
Clearly we've not achieved anything yet, because if all these conversations and pleas and apologies have sunk in, we should have been at a situation whereby we will have a conversation on how this case could be settled out of court. King Boss Eleji Alhaji Maluba himself apologized to the mayor face-to-face in court at the former sittings, and also authorized a release of press statements to publicly also apologize on social media to the mayor of Kenema and the people of Kenema and Sierra Leone in general. I mean, as much as we will say this is not a comfortable situation or it's not a proper situation. So he understood that this is a situation he has to apologize to the people no matter what. And he took that step despite the advice by the legal counsels to do that and face it in court. He was like, look, I've wronged that man and I didn't intend to do it, so I will apologize. And we went ahead and do it and did it. So there's been parties that have reached out. Even if you watch, even the artist union, Bo Artist Union, even some family members, friends, even well-wishers, people who don't even know have reached out to the mayor and tried to plead and apologize to him. And I will tell you for a fact, he's a gentleman. He has received everyone and listened to everyone and also expressed his feelings and his emotions concerning the situation and how he feels, which is understandable. And everybody continues to apologize to him and say, look, this is wrong. We wronged you, and nobody will ever say you are in the wrong or whatever. You are right. You have the right to fight for your rights and go to court and go to any legal institution to express yourself. But this is a situation where we apologize. Not because we want you to feel bad or whatever. We just want you to understand this is a mistake. And a mistake is a mistake. And we want you to let us talk this out of court, because as much as you might think he wronged you, he's also like a kid to you, like a child. So you should consider him as your child. So that is what everybody's pleading with the bail. So, but I know I'm taking too long, but it is his prerogative to say, okay, I'll do this or not. So I can't really confirm his conclusion on this, but we've tried, and I mean, we're still where we are.
All right, so because now that's one be me question. On a normal day, apology no go influence the decision of the courts. So the out of court settlements where una be they talk to the mayor for. If at any point promise una say it is settled for that?
No. He never promised. Like I said, all I said was he is always welcoming. If you want to reach him today, call him, he will listen to you, talk to you, and converse with you. He never made any promises or alleged or whatever. I say, I'll do this, I'll do that. He always says, look, this is my situation, this, that. That's all it is. And he, like I said, always welcoming, always ready to talk to you, converse, and have a conversation with you concerning whatever you might reach out to him. But he never made a promise. We have to be very truthful with that. So that is it.
Last time where we been get you in the studio for talk about the 824 show, you were certain that whether LJ be granted bail or not, or they go ahead with the show. So what thing happened where we see last night on a issue release, also on they confirm say on don't cancel the show now?
Well, if you look at that press statement, you see that there's a place to mention rumor mongers and people who peddle rumors. I mean, a lot of bloggers and a lot of people in the opposite camp has alleged that the situation we're in and the apology that has been put out is solely because of 824. As much as we've invested so much money in 824, so much energy, so much blood, sweat, and tears in 824, we want to make even the mayor to understand that the apology was not directed to him because of our show. It was directed to us because of our boss. You understand? He has a health condition which is not suitable for him even in prison. I mean, even there was a time when his last encounter, he spent so many months at Connaught Hospital because of he has a couple of health situations. And so that is why we're looking at it like, look, if people keep conversing that we're apologizing because of the show, we might as well shut it down so people can understand it's not about the show. We are pleading and apologizing, and he's pleading and apologizing because of the situation at hand, not because of he's interested to go outside and have a show. It's because of the situation at hand. So when this rumor and news peddlers keep running around with this news, we feel like it's affecting the situation, and that is why we'll cancel the show. Let everyone know that we can let all this go away just for the mayor and the people to understand it's not about the show, it's about the situation. That is why we're apologizing. We're not apologizing because of a show.
Agu, una red flag movement, especially una within the management level, they get a feeling, say, other people and other camps might get influence in all of them delay for long able to secure bail for King Bosele?
No, I wouldn't. I can't confirm that because, like I said, if you talk to the mayor, he will tell you his point of view, and it's clear as court. He doesn't. He is a man of his word. He has never promised what he has not. He didn't do. He's always been upright, and when he answers you, it is what it is. And he has never promised nothing. He just listens to you and explains his heart, his situation, and the situation of his people. You understand? So I can't say that someone is influencing it. But however, we are still pleading to him. You understand? I can't confirm or deny because I'm not the mayor. You will have to ask him that because we talk to him, he responds to us properly. Whenever we reach out to him, he responds to us. So I don't think nobody is influencing him. But however, we will still apologize and also applaud him and also implore him to at least listen to us. You understand? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Many thanks, Agu. We talked to you this morning. We'll keep in touch in case any recent developments happen inside the Red Flag movement. We'll go bring and come to review as them. Well, that now Agu, the manager for King Boss LA, as soon as from the management, they issue out a press release last night. Outside and said then they cancel the 824 show where they entitled Naswa Day because LJ still there na detention na the Bo Correctional Center because of statements insulting statements allegedly where they say it be make against the mayor for Kedima City. Yesterday it be for appear na court, but as soon as from Agui say because of the magistrate not be there on seat due to some illness, so the case not be able to go on, them being adjourned to the 28th of this month. We continue the breakfast show and we can now to the next segment. Usai yesterday, we've been talked to the leader of the opposition, Honorable Abdul Kago, and we talked to the executive secretary for the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, Awasamai. We will start the conversation for look at the moral guarantor, the way canton, the conversation with the all between the government and that of the opposition. As we all know, the opposition say they not be they take part in governance, then be withdraw all the elected officials, and then say certain things then they're not being glad with. Well, today they carry the position of government, how the negotiations been go on, what them been bargain for as a communique. The recent one way come out, then get 8 points them. How they arrive at that 8 points, how governments go and sure say then do their own side of the bargain so that they not go reach again to a point whose side the opposition go say again and they back out of government. We'll get the government spokesman, when at the Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chernoba, we deal with we at the studio this morning. Good morning, Mr. Minister.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Good to be back.
Yeah, a lot's happened recently. We see Usai on a busy with Mr. President, traveling, talking about the feed salon, going at the president in farm, we also have been going at the onions farm, na PC and Sons, and all of these things. It's been a quite busy 2 weeks for Una and His Excellency for the feed salon. Also, how they now, not just start there quickly.
I think it's fair for say it's always busy for we. President Biona, a very hardworking leader, with a demand the same hard work from we. In fact, apart from the headline in the way you mentioned, you can talk about the big headlines around the health sector, the opening of major institutions in agriculture. We don't move from importing onions to now getting one of the largest onion farms with the President go for go commission with the automated mechanized. Then he go na own farm for go show an example of waiting. He opened the NASCA building. We take over 10 years for construct. We signed a strategic agreement with the government of Senegal. We will focus on mining and trade and other issues then for exchange between we and CC. For example, Senegal don't make a lot of progress on some things that we need. So we not just look at the west or the east, but across here as well. So they under as well big conversations. But there's a long list of my colleagues across governments. The Minister of Finance go IMF alongside with the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health in a role as global chair of a big initiative, mobilize over $800 million for a major initiative. The Minister of Finance gets praised by the IMF and the World Bank for an astute stewardship of the Salon economy, even though they continue to face serious threats. I think Fambolem for no say, this past month alone, on the fuel situation, the government of Sierra Leone spent over $2.7 million as subsidies for keep the price outside and day, because we don't want for the price to fluctuate all this, and it could have been much higher than a day where they see signs of peace as well. Now the Middle East, still the situation look volatile, but with the hope say with stability, the price can down. We don't assure the farm and say as soon as the price can down at a stable level, we will be reflected into market now. You will see that reflection there as well into the market. So plenty work there happen. The Ministry of Information and Civic Education yesterday hosted a very special press conference for announce another major initiative. For years, since 2014 or so, Sierra Leone essentially shut down. And we don't announce it because of the innovation of President Bio and the Minister of Technology, Haja Salim Abba, with a relaunch, a brand new Sierra Leone. And the idea of that is that so they bring back a national pride, stop for lost money, the government begin to make back money, people then get more access to services, reaching the young people of this country. So President Bio in story where he commits dead, moribund institutions, it continue to put new energy and into the institutions, and you see very soon before we launch this, the government printer, we don't be dead basically for many years. But we invite you all for can see the results of President Bio in leadership, and some of them travel the way they travel, the partnership, the way they get and so. So it's been you're right, it's been a very busy week. And obviously at the end of all of that, so we can for deal with we party then at the opposition, the All People's Congress, the conversation where they go on between we and them, the presence of the international moral guarantors, and as you say, the final communique where the chair or the leader of the moral guarantors and me read with a product again of some really tough negotiation between the government of Sierra Leone and the main opposition party, the All People's Congress, who very pleased say they'll effectively end the boycott of government. We'll expect them back into government fully for letting serve the people that we elect them into the various positions that we hold across government. Yeah.
So coming to the issue it gets to do with the government and the opposition. We all know say from where them beginnings and concerns them, even before they go out of governance, they always don't get demands them where them be done they make, and most people can always say if somebody say there is a problem, before you jump into the solution, before they accept what's say problem day, because if you not accept say problem day, there is no way you still we find solution to that problem day. For the opposition, then believe say una the government be done they lag behind in terms of implementing what una be done agree for. And one major one then gets for do with the way how the president forgets somebody for head the ECSL and other commissioners then. Now be one major problem for the opposition. For the government, as at the time before they go out of governance, there was no time where any government official accepts say problem being there with that particular issue. Before we can look into the international moral guarantors and come one, the dialogue we then get with the president and other people then, on a position at any time don't change from the government side regarding the chief electoral commissioner?
You know, when there's a disagreement, so I see some people that they complain about why we need to get international moral guarantors. Sometimes who now today inside all man they watching company, you know they get it in and call perspective. So they call and tunnel vision. You just in on one side of that thing that you see. The reason the international moral guarantors in this sometimes, because they are removed from it, then just care for peace and then they remind we all of, actually, no, this narrative have been said and this is not how they go forward. Last starts by saying we acknowledge, say, when it comes to the implementation of all of the recommendations, my sister, now over 80 recommendations. Elect could give APC the keys to the house. Nobody not going to implement all of the recommendations. And in fact, the goal of the tripartite recommendation was for implement them by the 2028 elections. So we're on course. I don't they across the media they explain two basic fundamental things where people need to understand. There was an agreement, whether the agreement for national unity, we get 8 points. And then there was recommendation. You see, English, very important too. Agreement will not resolve. The resolution this. Now, there they do. Pa. Recommendation, I go recommend, say, I change this to blue. You know what I mean? Say, I don't pull you power for decide that. At no point of the tripartite recommendation did we or we all agree as a country, say, parliament in power, cabinet in power. Don't pull all line now. Then people will be in that room, in the recommendation room. Not to the non-decide now, say the law, the constitution, don't be suspended. Now, waiting then recommend now no more. What make this explanation important is because when it comes to the resolutions, even by their own admission, the government of Salo don't take action on all of them. All the resolutions in the agreements, when are the agreement for national unity, now it's the day. We don't take action on all of them. Again, you can argue about whether not 100% or not. Some of them, they not get for able to do 100% because they're going concern. You get for they continue for doing small. All of them. On the major thing, even when they complain about, when a recommendation, I think a recommendation 32. Yes. We then say, oh, when it comes to the implementation of the Chief Electoral Commissioner, recommendation 36, the government already take action because the recommendations say, if only family understand this, it recommend for let we amend. It don't recommend for let you impose. The law is the law. There's a process for amend the law. Until that law is amended, there is a law. No time not in any country where they suspend the law. Okay? And the bits where APC not only explain to them people and then 2 bits here what they explain now. Inside the recommendation, the text that they read. It say for it is recommended that we amend section 32(3) of the Constitution, section 2 of the Public Elections Act, and section 34 of the Constitution for provide for a search and nominating committee for the appointment of all members of the ECSL. Okay? And then the chair of the Political Party Registration Commission. He said that such a nomination committee, he mentioned also them for common bar association, lawyers, civil society, blah, blah, blah. Then he also say, and this is not the part we don't really talk about. He say, when they don't put the such a nomination committee together, the such a nomination committee for take 6 months for develop the terms of reference for the people who them for friend. Then after that 6 months, then for take time for do the selection. The selection not puts time by, so you can take 1 year for let them go through that selection process. Yeah. And then when they don't done that process, they see them for now come up with 3 candidates because they're able to tie the presidency and give the president the option. So you can say it starts from a recommendation, say if we go parliament first for amend. Now, a recommendation. Like TRC, so get beaucoup recommendation there. You know what I mean? Say, oh, we know, and TRC recommendation very strong, eh? Now for the peace of the country for the future. You know what I mean? Say the day they mean say TRC recommendation against the death penalty, that day they will not do the death penalty again. God forbid. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Say the day TRC been say we forget 1/3 women. You know what I mean? Say that day we don't kick all the man in the position we don't put her. No recommendation again for still go through the process of the law. So the government take a own part. It drafts the bill. The government can go the bill and cabinets will discuss and the cabinets in powers are not suspended because of the recommendation. Cabinets make new inputs. We do some amendments to this recommendation because now they make cabinets day. They will don't say and go parliaments. They don't go read the first reading. But listen, this process and step, Parliament still get power for reject this. It's a recommendation, right? Parliament still can still decide, so no one answer. In the interim, you ask yourself, so if a vacancy day in a major institution, which will for use for fill the vacancy, you have to use the existing law. The president announced for use the existing law. And what to make this important, the people who be in that room for the tripartite, them been think say this kind of thing for happen. Say, before all of their recommendation, what if something happened? Now I made them count recommendation number 87. And recommendation number 87 say, any person with the old office as a member of the commission before the coming into effect of their recommendation, go be deemed for have been legally and lawfully and properly appointed and will continue in the office until the expiration of in term, unless otherwise removed in accordance with the law. See? The provision be already inside the very tripartite within the courts.
So the APC then thinks their way, then they ask for so, Mr. Minister. Based on all which you don't read, so it clearly shows say not what thing they will go happen just now. And some of them things there, now they una government sit down, discuss them, put them inside the recommendation there.
Then they sign.
So why are they not telling their supporters the truth?
It's a very good question. It's one question why don't they ask myself and why they pray? Because again, take for example after the communique, the moral guarantors and read. The communique say at the end of the dialogue, the parties agreed on the following. They not urge APC for return. The parties agreed. Listen, point number 6 say the APC and its elected officials immediately end the boycotts and ensure inclusive, transparent, blah, blah, blah governance. Immediately. What make this important again is we spend 8 days. They debate every word now, every sentence now. Now you get some senior members of the party. They out there, they give the people and the impression, say, somehow, these dates where they are, they go for pull Edmond Alpha. The reason we make me, I know say right now, are they, are they trying my own position for continue for speak, with civility, for engage APC, because I respect so many people across the board. But there are some things that should be said. After the 2023 elections, after all this, we been get a section of the APC will continue for tell them supporters and say, either rerun election they come, or Samora Kamara they can power back, or they mean call electoral justice. Everybody any mama be no say that they not true. Anybody will get small brain be no say this not mislead, then they mislead then supporters. That's the day on them. The government of Salome position be clear. The international moral guarantors position be clear. The international partners in position be clear. It's the same thing who they deal with sooner again. You still get a section of the APC, not all of them, but all of them, they will deserve a lot of credit. We don't be very clear and say, look, this is not the position we will start with. Reform of an institution is not an individual. That's position and they wouldn't start with and call for boycott. I say, no, let's focus on the substance. We don't get international partners, they don't assess ECSL. So we care about the same thing. What we care about.
Is it politics then they play or then just want appeal to their supporters?
I will let you read the statements with them pull after this.
I don't read them.
The statements then they give the government last and final warning.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna say again, this is not exactly how you communicate. If you try to bring peace, dialogue, it's the same thing.
But inside that same statement, they assure say they committed to peace and then encourage their supporters.
Nobody in a peace study. Nobody know they committed to peace fully. And then in that same statement, you give some arbitrary last and final warning. Look, we get for always day in conversation at this country. 15 years from now, APC kind of power, 30 years from now, we'll forget conversations on some of these issues. Nothing, even a reform here, we don't do and done. The other party get for say, this one will mean this, but not also will mean PR system or this, so, Even the recommendations of the tripartite, APC don't depart from some of them. For example, on the census, they want to revise that particular recommendation. It's even there. Because the recommendation will say, we need to use census data if the census not be done 2 years before the election. Now, they want to discuss that. They want this position about the rule for the registered political parties. Recommendation, but the APC don't come back and say, so, we treat recommendation like saying the law. A recommendation is a recommendation, and the wisdom of the people who write the recommendation, they already include the transitional clause. Then, the agreement for national unity be explicit. Say the constitution of Sierra Leone go remain sacrosanct. So you ask yourself, why we been boycott? And let's like for define boycott for you. Now a decision for abandon the people that will elect you. The people them will put you for serve. You decide, say, especially, look, maybe parliament, I can get a debate. I can say debate, even though I find parliament fundamentally disagreeable because I think, say, the chance with parliament being get for demonstrates waiting in there against Edmond Alpha for a parliament in the first sitting, in the privilege. You can go your evidence. You ask them tough questions. You force them for answer on the record, not so. You bring the public along, they walk away. And the APC pattern and the way they don't choose. They believe, say, that they work for them. That we can disagree on that with respect. But how on earth you go ask the councillor and the chairman, na Kamakwe, na Makeni, na Mabuoka, APC strongholds, the people they rely on you for providing water, for helping them for clean, for helping them for how you go ask them people and they not for go work. Let them abandon them people because of a political conversation.
That decision they not be patriotic.
I mean, not so. Me, I not like for because I'm Minister of Civic Education. I not like for make big judgments.
Because you talk about, you say they abandon, you say they abandon them people, and for them, they try for send a clear message to Unana government where, according to them, Unana be agree for engage. But they don't call on His Excellency for me to turn several times. Then say the door been shut down, and that be the only option that they begin.
Imagine no more say how you basically get this idea. Say, I want to meet the president. Now, by the way, the idea say the door is shut down is not true. I don't talk this multiple times. Senior leaders of APC get unrestricted access to His Excellency the President.
Even the deputy chairman?
Senior leaders. Now, I make no name names, but I want to be clear.
Chairman, he make an clear in an interview with Liberty TV say, he don't personally try for reach out to His Excellency. He don't send text messages. In order agree for SIAM for discuss governance.
No, that I want to make clear one thing, okay? And I get respect for the deputy chairman, particularly na person I consider my uncle. President Bill, now one of the most open door policy president they would ever get in a salon. Let me clear one thing, okay? Throughout this period, we get multiple platforms then for engage with the APC. At no point then platform then they be shut down. The president a busy man. The president a chair of ECOWAS. The president get international responsibilities. They travel. You know, look, even you staff know they tell you say, I want to meet you today. Then you tell and say, no, well, I don't get time now. Then tomorrow you say, well, if I don't meet you, I need to can work again for 6 months. I mean, come on. This is the fountain of honor. So, look, APC can write, he asks, he want to meet the president. The president and his team say, look, the president they travel now. We can go arrange me as cabinet member, We can see President Bill. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 weeks, 1 month before we get a time in his busy schedule. Now, the APC reach out and say, oh, one for meeting, say, oh, President, they travel. The next day, they put out a press release, say, if we know withdraw Edmond Alpha, then they give it 48 hours. Then they withdraw all the services from government. Not exhausting the process, not going through parliaments, not holding Edmond Alpha accountable, not asking him for an interview. And then again, what they say? Then decide that the people of Kamakuri, the people of Gambia, the people of Deyon strongholds, they not forget people the way they clean their streets. They not forget people the way they take care of their council. They not forget people the way they take care of their schools. They not forget people the way they take care of their public emergencies. Why? Because of the president follow the constitution of the country for a process where they know say once it is completed, once Edmond Alpha don't take that seat, the guy the agent make clear in multiple interviews, we don't have the power to remove him. They know the law. The laws are never suspended because of a recommendation, not even an agreement. A recommendation. We still get to go through the competent statutory bodies them, then get to make their inputs. Maybe Parliament go reject all of that recommendation for still wait for 5 years.
So when they see all of this where the opposition they do as deliberate action for get waiting they want.
I can always say what I like for doing for point out the fact. Then I left Una now for make the big decision on whether waiting they do for and all make clear say me not to psychologists, me not to therapists.
But now they're the receiving end.
So the receiving end is that me, what I see is their actions, again, the thing that we then claim say we they violate, and they point out to you say actually we did not. The thing that we then say, oh, now that make them walk away from. Particularly on the issue of the appointment of the Chief Electoral Commissioner, and they point out to you, and the text clear. You see, say even the agreement for with the communique issue, touch on anything concerning that. It talk about again and get legitimate points on reforms. I agree with them. I agree with the APC. Look, now President Julius Marabio call for this reform. Now he say successive. By the way, the day way President Bio announced this, APC not be even in a parliament. Again, let me the boycott again. President Bio go announce say successive elections. They be marred by controversies, people that they complain. Say so long fix and once and for all. A lot do in a bipartisan way. Now he call for this. Now he appoints the top leaders in our government, starting with the VP, the chief minister, the AG, we all into steering committees, into negotiations. Where we done, now President will take the recommendations, then table on a cabinet. Now President they chair all cabinets. Now he give instruction for the AG now take this bill within the Kutsu for go parliament. I don't know what we fumble everyone. Follow shortcuts the judicial process, or shortcut the president, the legislative process, or shortcut the president in past. You cannot do any of those. A country get forget laws. Again, your job is to let people then see the facts. Una can make the decision or the judgment.
Because even yesterday when we get Honorable Abukabon at the studio, when the leader for the opposition at Parliament, point 7 of waiting una agree on just this past week. Now one way it been very difficult for let we get some for explain. Waiting on the two parties then. Mean by that point 7 the restructuring will go for happen now the ECSL by the 31st of December this year, and the debates where they are between the government and the opposition now the social media where clearly the show one of them they put on a case say that has nothing to do with Edmond Alpha imposition, whilst the young supporter in the social media they say by the 31st of December they no said Edmond Alpha go for left ECSL. And so when will I be the agree on that point 7? Waiting at the case.
So let's just say the one way they talk say Edmond Alpha get for left. Now the latest case of electoral justice. Then the latest case of electoral justice. Say they elect hold on to one electoral justice principle. We run election, this, that. Look, I get respect for lots of the leaders that will be there with me in the room. We discussed this explicitly. I don't think I read you already. For example, I think in the 98 with one of the leaders in parliament, he make it clear that this provision is not about an individual. It's about restructuring the institution, making sure that the provisions that will be done talk about in the first place, the way ECSL operates, the openness in the processes, all of them in the APC get a legitimate call that we need to reform, restructure this institution. We agree with that. Now that make the president and the government invite an international institution for CAM and conduct what they call a management and functional review of ECSL. Now, that management and functional review, they get recommendations on things that we need for change in the way that ECSL, the practice, what they do. APC don't say, look, we accelerate the process of their reforming there. It will give you comfort as we get into the elections. We agree with them on that. We're on the same page. This recommendation, and just to be clear, two important words within inside this recommendation, we will help for settle any doubts. Okay? It say the parties commit to restructure the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone within the framework and principles of the Agreement of National Unity. What's have been the principle of the Agreement of National Unity? Principle C. The Constitution of Sierra Leone will be sacrosanct. And Edmond Alpha is appointed, is in seats, pursuant to the sacrosanctity of the Constitution. No recommendation, no letter can change that. And we all will be there in that room, they not being get no doubts about the content of this. The moral guarantors are not being no doubts. And also, by the way, if you talk to the Independent Commission for Peace, who been at 2 or 3 media platforms there yesterday, she was very clear. She said, this conversation not begin nothing for doing the appointment of an individual.
So you surprised from one I don't come another room. The thing they want I don't hear again regarding that particular clause. You surprised it's coming from the opposition?
No, I'm not surprised.
Why?
As I don't say, because I don't say small party politics now. I've been there 2023 not so long ago. And there with them continue for. In fact, some people they will still believe say Samora Kamara then get for make president. Some people they will still believe say one. In fact, I sure see them will take these dates now say they can install Samora Kamara as president. Look, in politics, you get what them call red meat. That means say you give you supporter them something for let them, you animate there. I see one me uncle with the America we like for post all time. I see the right say, hey, now this they happen, now this they happen. The facts are sacred. And me no say the responsible leaders of the APC, people over there in that room, respectable people them, then they explain to them people and say, look, we need to focus on the structure. We need to focus on the institution because the change we get for happen at the structure and the institution, and they the game day. And we cannot impose a change in the leadership, especially of one person, outside of the constitution. Now, if APC wants to bring a case of misconduct, blah, 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 the law there, and the process is there for remove an electoral commissioner. They can choose that, but it's not going to be through this process.
Mr. Minister, you not been there yesterday, and just for the purpose of reviewers them, we not just bring government alone. Yesterday, the opposition begets their own day. Then the leader of the opposition at Parliament, Honorable Abdulkawo, been there. He explained their own side, and also we get Hawa Samai from the Peace Commission. So today, since governments that then get the responsibility for work with the opposition and implement all of them things here, and that's make the Minister of Information they are so alone for explain their own position. So not just bring government and left the opposition out. But quickly, let's just play a short clip, Mr. Minister, of waiting Honorable Abdulkawo in your understanding of this restructuring where una don't put inside then additional 8 points there. So yesterday Honorable Abdulkawo will make an attempt for explain waiting in understand where he talk about restructuring. They try for get that clip there and play them for you so that you go understand whose side then they come up from. And you talk about the press release where they issue out. That was a very strong press release because they say this now the last and final try within the give as a government, and then don't they accuse us don't renege on most of the things them way on agree on as parties we been go inside this agreement. And in all of this, now the cities in them, and they suffer in terms of service delivery. And una get the bulk of the responsibility because you guys are in governance. Why una feel say most of the time una don't sign documents them, especially what gets for do with moving the country forward. At some points, una can just left everything scattered.
Yeah, left everything scattered. Not say
The opposition, they back out. Because even from the first term for Lona get this agreement for national unity, at some point, then back out because of disaggregated data, we then say ECSL for pool.
again, I know they talk for the APC. They can decide for do whatever they want to do.
Before the 2023 elections, I remember, say, 2 weeks to the election, and they take parts. The other week, they're not going to take parts, and they threaten for boycotts, and we threaten for boycotts. After the elections, then we get the opportunity again. Where they take what can at the studio, and they abide by the rules of the studio. We are done for talk, now you the talk. We tell me say like wait, at the wait. We commit to a process. You abide by the structure and the rules of that process. The Constitution of Salon say political parties then get a rule. Elections can get disputes. When the disputes happen, the steps and the way for take. APC chose at each point for abide by within at this stated structure. For example, courts, right?
But then
If
they
you
say
get-
now, no, they do.
No, but you get the evidence. Also, wait, we they say, me they tell you what's happen after the elections, right? We don't multiple election on there. We SLPP the loss. You know, we go to courts, right? Even though we know that they may appoint the justices at the time, we go to courts. We go to court. Some of the cases not even call her up, but we still go to court because why? That's so you the bill jurisprudence, that's so you the bill, and that's so you the show say you trust or you believe in the strengthening of the institutions. We take part by a process, you're bound by that process. Now, APC gets legitimate, illegitimate concerns after the elections, then choose. Not for go court for challenge. They allow the period for expire. And then choose again, say, oh, then get problem with Edmond Alpha, then choose. Not for seek the process. They not, like Alpha can say, they not follow the script. They could have gone to court against Edmond Alpha, they did not. They could have gone to parliament where they get free flow for engagement. They not do one. Instead, in a public media, they some of them actually they slander a good man in name, a public official. We don't serve in country, and by him account and by the fact they don't rise, so with absolute distinction, right? So if I want for say something against you, I say we them call, I for allow a third party, a competent body don't get an opportunity for review and make that judgment. They're chosen not to do that, which is okay. That their own prerogative. As I say, I don't talk for them. But at every point, government not perfect. Government get plenty challenges. But in the way we suppose for do at a pace will not happen. But I could tell you, say, the commitment is clear. I don't explain to you on their recommendation. Yeah, each one of them will not take the steps, the process they on. But we cannot shut. I've mentioned say the recommendation say after they don't amend the law, then they will appoint who amend the law with the rights to all the institutions. They will appoint. Then they appoint them people, and the people then come together. They take 6 months for develop TOR. Now the recommendation when I then sign to. That's the rule. So what you allow to let the country not work until we do another that process it, and then they don't do the TOR. Then after they all agree on the TOR, they start the selection process. After that, they interview. After that, people they apply. After that, they get 3 candidates. After that, they stand to president. But now that make the wisdom of the people the way right being say there has to be a transitional clause.
So sit back.
In the interim, we appoint, but so we committed. We wait till we sign. We are committed to implementing that. I know they say we do them perfectly, but nobody not perfect in this world. We engage them. Hey, we can to steering committee, APC did it, we did it. We can to inter-party dialogue, APC did, we did. We can to access to the president, and they tell you say they get ultimate, absolute access. Again, nobody not get unfettered, unlimited access.
So see
but
that,
you will
it
get
that-
access to the
Is it
president.
that the APC always they ask for the impossibilities that make one another able to find a common ground?
I tell somebody yesterday, say the lawyer then can say, wait, they can't to equity get for carry with clean hands. Again, I tell somebody, say, they start the conversation by putting a figurative gun to my head. Say, if you not do this way, if you not do one this way right now, I go do this to you, I go do this to you. That's not how you negotiate. That's not how you, especially with, look, I don't make clear something. Now, political science, I mean, foundational degree. In a government, disagreements go there. That's part of democracy. Where APC not going always fully agree. That's fine. That's not a bad thing. Follow disagree. If we all agree, no points not to follow get election or votes. If we just team up now one line, all man can't be incomplete. But the disagreements is useful. The question is how will they conduct that disagreement there? How will they engage with that disagreement? And sometimes in that disagreement, we can debate, stay, we not agree. Let's assume say APC, we sit down with them. We can talk to them and say, no, Edmond Alpha. We can say, no, Edmond Alpha. After that process there, the democracy say, because now President Bio win the last elections, because now we get the majority in the parliament, President Bio in word, now go pass. That's just how life works. The problem sometimes is APC believes say, we, the actions of President Bio, for be subjected to the veto. Not even the review, then veto. Then suppose for tell the presidency, no, it's you want to do so. You're not supposed for happen for councillor. And then one use means like with the boycott and things like that. Then they not get for work. I don't make them very, very clear. Waiting go work, na continuous engagement. Waiting go work, na through the structures and the systems of governance that we get. Waiting go work, now wait to do so with this process. Mutual respect, we engage, and we move the country go forward. But after that, you see them begin put out press release. They use words like last and final. Somebody has to call them out on that. Because nothing in this country we not last and final.
So at this point,
we therefore continue for go forward.
Is the APC, from on a perspective, deliberately do this for deceived and followers the way they actually know the facts when they don't sign so in the room?
Me know they ever tell you what to make person to do what they do. Me go just tell you what they do. You, the listening public, you, the journalist, when I the commentary. Remember when they make me minister, I say, when they do commentary? I stick with that. When they do commentary. Me will tell you what you are the see. I will tell you, say, look, then get a chance for do this. There's a way to do this, then do that. Then I make them clear to you. You would tell you, say, oh, well, so there are some say they want to deceive the people. Oh, there are some say I get they not being get out. No, me not they make that judgment day. Because me at the focus on the fact. Like I said, the people within the room, we agree on this. None of them not been doubt within this debate. We're all together.
But then same people they come now they talk.
So,
Trust
me, the people who within the room, we agree on this. We take part by this process.
Other than people in there, the
APC negotiators, led by Dr. Kalfalamaya.
Oh, I now just take this clip of Honorable Abdulkago waiting in understand yesterday by the structuring of ECSL and waiting at the communication when they put forward to their supporters.
Let me not go back and forth on this. It's very simple. You don't read point 7. Explain what it is.
Me a partisan, me a member of the opposition, me a the leader of APC in the parliament.
So tell me what you on a mean by that point 7.
No, una read
from
recommendation 36.
Honorable, let me not go back and forth on this. It's very simple. You don't read point 7. Explain what it means. No, we don't forget the next party. Yes. So we want for you from there inside. Because in order for there when they come.
Explain what recommendation 36 say.
So in order to nothing with Edmond Alpha.
No, at the time I say recommendation 36 deals with the amendment of subsection 3 of section 32. What is subsection 3 of 32 say? He say, President, after consulting with political party leaders, now in the appoint the Chief Electoral Commissioner. So this recommendation they say now, we for ensure say we pay attention to 36 back before December, meaning then for amend that one the winner president they appoint and make sure say we get the search and nomination committee
within that 36. Honorable, where una don't amend them, una expectation that the presidents for go back to the amended section now for use for appoints the Chief Electoral Commissioner?
If no way not the if it's not important for we not the amender, we not even be part of the recommendations.
So how the president
If
go
it's not
go
important.
back and use
Not
that
so
same
the president
section
they go back.
for appoint electoral commission?
No, not so president they go back. I want let on listen me. President gets the extant law we na in use. Now, remember, say we don't say part of the problem na the appointment of the manner in which the chief electoral commissioner they be appointed into office. Na part of the problem that one day. So we all agree say, well, if that day na part of the problem, now we ensure say we amend the law. How for amend the law? We dey get a search and nomination committee. Now, recommendation 36. So that search and nomination committee, they interview qualified candidates them. After they don't interview the qualified candidates them, then qualified candidates there, then they choose 3 of them, then they submit to president.
So are you saying
then
the entire process for get a new chief electoral commissioner? Wait for take on to 2028 elections, and for reverse and back?
The entire essence of recommendation 36. Now, how for able get the chief electoral commissioner?
All right. Quickly, let's come to our one go. It clearly shows say, Una feel say this don't end, but with what is happening here from the leader of the opposition, it no end, which means Una get work for you.
Let make this point very clear. You know, parties then go so worry about the chief electoral commissioner when the processes them leading to the elections are all opaque. They're not transparent. We don't know nothing. You don't know how they do census. We don't know how they do registration. We don't know how decisions are taken. You understand? But like we all agree, you know, if we begin to implement the agreement as stated, you know, that confidence building they begin develop. They begin develop as we they go.
All right, that's now the leader of the opposition at Parliament, Honorable Abdulkagbo. Yesterday, we host them now. Forget the opposition their own views and position, especially with all who don't sign now this new communique with the moral guarantor they help them for put together. But one thing we don't be confusion in all of this. Now, point 7, you know, they talk about the restructuring of ECSL. Mr. Minister, play that clip, Lele, you get an understanding of waiting Honorable Abdulkagbo understand when they talk about restructuring. Forum, una for go back to the search and nomination clause where they before Parliament for amend. And now for use back for appoint the chief electoral commissioner. That is the restructuring we don't understand.
Honorable Abdulkagbo, my comrade of the Great Radicals Club. So now one of the smart people in the parliament. We post in the ora, and we get sense. Honorable Abdulkagbo na engineer. We don't in a parliament now, so I know say also familiar with the law. He commits maybe some, I think na mistake. So la be generous to her. He quotes all the even the recommendation 36, you know, quotes are in full. So you see the problem sometimes where you know read the fine print, and then can always tell you. So I want to start today. I don't point out to una say recommendation 36 say for amend not to just 32.3 way talk about. He say I mean they read the full letter section. So Public Elections Act and 34 of the Constitution. 4 years provide for a search and nomination committee, but first Parliament for amend. The part where you not read, now that bit what I tell you say later. We say the search and nomination committee for then take 6 months for do the NTOR, for then take this period and all that, right? So then they say the bit where if FIBA like say not read at all at the transitional clause with inside the tripartite recommendation, we say while all this process they happen, where somebody don't be nominated, appointed, don't take seats, nothing, no they pull that person there because of any reform will happen. It already there inside the recommendation. That's not just the recommendation. But besides, the very agreement number 7, we did, 2 important words and they were pointed out. Principles and framework of the agreement for national unity. Point C say the constitution sacrosanct. And what's in they mean by the constitution sacrosanct? Maybe what are done in a parliament. They make law in a parliament. So they make this law. Then that law they now, they pull this other action what the president may not say, what the president may not do. Instead, very aware of that. So let's be clear. And I think it's important for the people of this country. Actually, I think I did do APC a favor. Because I did help them. What have been their advice is, then they try for kick the can down the road. Right? Instead of look your supporter there now at their eyes and tell them, say, look, we're not getting the power, we don't pull Edmond Alpha. Let's focus on, like I say, the structures and the institutions and the processes. Which they want to do, they want to give them supporter them some hope. And I call them false hope. And that hope is dangerous. Because in December, what's going to happen, they will have failed again because they're not going to achieve any removal of Edmond Alpha. That is not on the table. I can tell you that clear as light as day.
So now waiting they happen December.
Waiting they happen, now government in commitment for implement, in fact, Edmond Alpha, and oversee the implementation of the reforms. The reforms that we're supposed to happen. Because now the chair, duly, legitimately, constitutionally appointed and seated. We don't do it called the management and functional review. Did he? Don't hand that over to ECSL. You get beaucoup points that they can talk about transparency, about the way they work, about collecting data, all that. It needs to be institutionalized in good time before we get to the elections. Within this recommendation, explicit about is that and the election, the constitutional review of the election related laws where the AG already puts in front of Parliament, for push Parliament, for let them consider. When Parliament, they consider the bill, the new, we get a new constitution where in front of Parliament, they consider that bill, they appoint that bill, they make that bill. Once that bill is done, future, if the bill is approved, because again, Parliament's and powers have not been suspended. Abdul Kabo still get the power for now Parliament for change things. That's what makes him a distinguished honorable member. Now, once Parliament don't agree on a new act, that act they now will take into effect going forward, not backward. We're not to go behind. Now before they go, especially not least this short before the next elections. If we've been direct we process them for begin say we wait again for let we get too close to the elections before now that make even the constitutional amendments bill the AG bring the one way election related quickly now so that the rest of the big bill will not directly related to a constitution will come after because one gets constitution election related matters out of the way. This is not part of government in commitment to this process.
All this way you don't explain here this morning, this sounds like the opposition don't waste a lot of time being out of governance because major call where them be to make for that change na ECSL of Edmond Alpha. From all what you don't explain this morning, the pressure always been seem like they come from the opposition on the government. From what you explain, not seem like the government be they consider that pressure with the opposition be they put down.
No.
Not be in any way. Then send away them out of governance, they pile pressure, say they must pull Edmond Alpha, they must do this, they must do that. Una be they consider them?
President, retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Madabio, and General. One of the greatest moments then for me, I've been just done joining government during the last failed coup. After all the shooting and all that, late at night, I've been on do all the interviews and that now after the first day, I get a conversation with His Excellency. He was calm, unflapped. I said, we are all getting this tension. How are you feeling? I check on him, ask my boss. At no point that Monday, the respond to that kind of pressure. I think one of the gifts we God gave now in calmness and for stay above board. That same distinguished calmness we get in waiting with my call fidelity to the Constitution. The president, he knows say before he make him decision, he seek legal advice from a legal advice team, the AG. He knows say he don't follow the Constitution. He check with the Agreement for National Unity. He check with the steering committee, the tripartite committee and recommendations. He checked all of that. He knows say in this debate, in this argument, he has the tools. In there on the side of what is absolutely right and what is absolutely legal. So he like you jump, you go up, you can down, he go engage with you because he's a listening man. But for say he go feel the pressure, for say, oh, you go put her under pressure, President Bio is calm and unflappable.
Mr. Minister, before I reach to this point, for even begin sit on a table with the moral guarantor them at the middle, the APC will make quite a lot of demands them. Aside the withdrawal of Edmond Alpha, then the request for Honorable Abdul Kabo, now one of the people from the APC will be make a decision, say, they know they even sit again with the government's their own chief negotiator, because then they feel disrespected by some of the utterance system, now the social media. So then they want for meet with somebody else. We see that happen. Usai, they meet with the Honorable Vice President. Then we also make some demands, say they want for talk with His Excellency the President. That's not happening yet. Then we also make some other demands, then say, if all the way fail, then they pull them, people them, now a nationwide peaceful protest. In any way, UNA's government feels say, UNA don't be fair to the opposition, because now to then a government, Mr. Minister, and earlier you talk about constructive engagement. Una in any way feel say una don't give in some of the things they wouldn't they ask for.
You make a list of look. The APC demand 9 the moral guarantors them can engage we on 9 produce 8 major agreement resolutions on things that we will do together. They're there. Most of them will be already in the pipeline. Most of them, majority of them, will be not get advanced conversations on them.
Even if they're not being boycotted.
Absolutely. And the moral guarantors them before don't come anyway. Now that make the boycotter, they ask the people them of Kamakwe, the people them of Falaba, the people them of Tonkolili, Magboka, they ask them, really, this boycott serve you? Because 2 months, then deprive you of the services. But to your question, you know, as I say, Abdul Karbon, I'm a comrade, so I really respect him. How can you, the only possible way they negotiate with, not possible way you not agree with all the time. This notion say every minute, if CM talk one thing, we'll not meet with her again. If government not do this, will they boycott? Somebody has to be asking the APC this pattern now. You cannot, look, the other day they complain, say, the chairman of the party say no more APC. Let's say the chairman of the SLPP for say yes more APC. The chairman of the SLPP for say no more APC. It mean no more APC in governance. APC then chairman too for say after this no more SLPP. But you cannot always, you know, the story is you cannot always every single time if you like say they can say they raise the dial to 100 plus. Look, Abdul Kabo, you don't deny ya. And other platform them say many things with frankly no savory about the chief minister. It's very true. But the chief minister ready for meeting any day, anytime. Then a politics. Because what would they say, like I say, even the man they would argue, who they meet up in a corridor, we are very good friends. We all they hang out. But how you go say the post where the president don't pick us in chief negotiator, we know they meet again. How you want to peace scam?
You say they disrespect them.
I don't say the man don't say things against the chief minister plenty time. And again, even when you say, look, all man get in choice, right? But even at that, you cannot start with saying, I know they meet with you. The only person they meet with for debate, for negotiate, a person you disagree with. Maybe in the beginning of the meeting, you can tell and say, I take exception to that way we being. Say them thing and day. Maybe now one of the points why they add here now say, for talk to Wiso. But you know, go start from a position, say, even for meet you, I know they meet with you. Look, US, then just bomb Iran and kill them. The leader in family, this, that. The next week, they permit. Look, people then the point of negotiation. Now, people see what you disagree with. Not a possible now all today on the same page. But APC then feels at each point, I feel like somebody really we all get for come together and say, look, nothing will ever stop we from engaging. Nothing will ever stop me from meeting Abdul Kagbo. Look, even me, Abdul, we argue, Abdul, the man who I get respect for, who I know say he brilliant, I know say he care about Salo like me. So he argue, talk something, last still willing for meet with him. I think to that point they really for be made. But on the other point, they say, oh, now because they don't want to meet CM, and I make them meet VP, that's not correct. The chief minister now is still the chief negotiator, and the chief minister not been dated on. But also, the presence of the vice president is an indication of the seriousness with which the government takes the opposition. You ask if they treat them fairly. 100%. The government, at each point, at each opportunity, the president, they pick a top government official from the chief minister to even if the CM the vice president would have met with them. Even when the CM the vice president called all the chairs of the APC councils, and I give them credits, they showed up to that meeting. They discussed, they engaged, they're in our governance. So we're willing for do that. President Biodo actually, I know say there's an invitation to APC now, where they wait for the APC come meet with the president. President Biodo reach out to them and ask them that meeting. Last week. Even before this agreement. Yes.
They're not sure.
They're not sure yet. Again, look, all man get other things. They have to balance things. They have to balance conciliation. They have to balance optics. I understand that. But again, I just want to make clear, say,
but
meeting with you and for use meeting as ultimatum.
Leader then go continue for care about the optics. Then the people are suffering from your action.
Not to me. I say I know say they get for balance things. You can ask that to APC. Who willing for meet any day, anytime. Who me are willing for meet with APC any day. You call me for any platform, I'm willing for be there every day. You call the AG is willing to be there. You call the chief minister is willing to be there. The vice president is willing for engage with APC any day, time and place. This is not the position of this government. We respect the All People's Congress. We respect the opposition party. We engage with them. What they will know they do. They want meet with me, give me ultimatum. I want meet with you today. If you not agree, tomorrow I know they can walk. Move away from this. The chief minister is the president's own appointed chief negotiator. They issue statements. We need meet with her again. Come on. This is governance. Now people in lives. The people of Kamakwe, the people of Karene, the people of Maboka, them people in lives matter. They always at every small opportunity. I put local. Who say my brother come out? Every small opportunity. No, they take toys and go home. We get forget
so
to
then
the
they
point.
behave.
And then I boycott. You take your toys and go.
But for them, they say boycott is part of governance. That a way for show say you dissatisfied.
Yeah, but I don't point out to you say the people already suffer. Nah, the people that you cancel, the majority cancel. We not get nothing for do with this conversation. And this conversation will have happened anyway. Now 2 months of time don't be spent, 2 months of people and services not be met, 2 months for an outcome that's basically is where we are. Yes, we don't make progress, but progress that we could have made anyway. So you make the call.
That's bring me to the question, say, because as at yesterday, it been confirmed, say, the mayor for begin work today. We not check down the dates, but when we be asked Honorable Abdul Kagbo when then they go back na parliament, it wasn't clear as to the specific dates. Although you say the boycotts don't call off immediately whether a list come out, but we don't need them to go parliament today. If not for the intervention of the international moral guarantors, governments for not able meet at a point with the opposition for let today then begin work so like how it happened.
Again, maybe I feel say throughout this conversation, will make me more man. I cannot prove
no,
a
they don't
negative.
negotiate.
Yeah, so, but the moral guarantors now they can't take away cost
intervention.
Me believe so, but I cannot tell you that's a negative. I'm not going to prove that. But what I know is that we're willing for continue for engage with them. All them points are be there on the table. We're willing to listen to them on them points here. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the moral guarantors. Auntie Fatumatu Jalo Tabanjang did a fantastic job with his team in patience, in motherly care, in understanding of the context, the African mama we be to we all. It helped we for all see reason and see sense. Let all focus on the things that matter. The constitution is sacred. Certain demands not supposed for even then at this list. And let focus on the things that we're supposed for there. How they move the country go before, including the legitimate things we APC gets, including calling we out say una back on a push on them here. That now the skill and the blessing we'll get from benefiting from somebody like Auntie Tambajang and the team we come.
How serious the government take this second to last paragraph that the APC then release with them pull after the intervention of the international moral guarantors? Also, then say then they make and clearly then they sit and clearly say the APC has given this process one final chance. And they also say, should there be any failure in implementation, lack of commitment, or bad faith on the part of the government within agreed timelines, particularly by the end of December 2026, the APC will not hesitate to return to its membership and the people of Sierra Leone to determine and announce the next course of action. All options remain open within the framework of law and democratic responsibility. How una take that particular sentence from the APC after all this negotiation?
May I want the public make the call that you come out negotiation, there's an agreement, and you pull out a statement like that. We already talk about one of the things that we did in our eyes and see the moral guarantors and call for reasoned speech. They advise against incitement. They advise against kind of feeding with, raising the flames and all that. That statement, they frankly and obviously meets the standard of the spirits of the agreements we'll get. But APC, we live in a free country. It's free speech. APC free for say what they want for say. And as I say, I also understand. I also did the business of politics. The need for send what we call red meat to their supporters. But I can tell you, say, they know they hold the government to ransom. This government or they respond to any blackmail of any sort. And this government will continue to engage APC with respect for move forward on the implementation of it. Because even the standard they make undo this, it don't even mean anything. It's just like words, now word salad, just put together, blah, 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 blah. For give the impression to the supporter, they say, look, we were strong, we tell them, they give them one final chance. Again, I say, the point of that sometimes is...
That's blackmailing you?
I just say, we know the response to blackmail. Look, at every point, sometimes they want to postpone the idea of saying the truth to the supporters. The truth is that Edmond Alpha will be the Chief Electoral Commissioner. The truth is that we need to work together for reform ECSL. The truth is that, and that work they get for take a lot of time with all of us with willingness for engage in that process. And that's the truth. They can come out and say that, so the supporter them, whether they agree, or they can try for bye-bye, then get an impression, say they need a fetch for change, and they need a fetch still, and all that. Then are their own prerogative. What he really tell you is written in this text. Look, if these agreements be include the removal of the Chief Electoral Commissioner, will not be the number one demand. If it don't be explicit also, it's not there at no point. And in fact, the reference to restructure also get the framework and principles of agreements of national unity, where say constitution is paramount. And not say framework and principles of tripartite itself, it's the agreement of national unity, because I can get a reference. So this is done. We can move forward. If we move forward in this way, we will do so. We're willing for continue forward with them, and we'll continue to do that.
Like you say, at some point in the conversation this morning, Edmond Alpha get on the other end. I go for oversee most of them reforms in the way.
Correct.
Una don't agree say as government and opposition, I want let it happen. But this same Edmond Alpha na the person where the opposition don't say they know they meet with because they don't send letter they we according to them. Then say they know they meet with. They're not the meet with them.
Say after this boycott now, they need to separate and say that.
If the opposition still believes, say, Edmond Alpha is not properly seated and they are not willing to meet with him for SIDOM, how on go for implement then side and way required ECSL and na on to the work the opposition and the government?
Again, me not to Moriman. I'm not going to predict the future. I can already tell you what's in the happen now. I like to stick to the fact. And the fact is that Edmond Alpha will be the Chief Electoral Commissioner for the 2028 elections. He's been appointed by the laws of this country. The fact is that the APCBD boycott, yes, they're missing a meet with her, but I know say as part of this conversation, they are committed follow reform ECSL, and the way you get for reform ECSL, you get for engage with the leadership of ECSL and engage with the process of ECSL. And I hope and pray for the sake, for the country's sake, that the good ideas we APC get, they will bring on the table and we will work together for move that process forward. And I will not focus on the individual, but focus on the structure and the institution. That's all I can tell you. APC, their own decision, we say and choose, not for choose. You get for ask them that.
Why is it that we didn't talk about electoral reforms under the politicians, both APC and SLPP, always want to focus on na 2028, winning 2028, rather than focusing on a reformed institution, left better policy them, because the vision of His Excellency by then we make this pronouncement of election management body, he say elections don't always be problematic. He make reference to even he contest the 2012 elections. He gonna court. So for stop all of this, they didn't reform the institution. But now all the conversation don't be 2028.
I don't think that's fair on the SLPP and parts of government, because
now we in the process of implementing the comprehensive reform. Now we did say to APC, reform of the appointment of the Chief Electoral Commissioner, not just get for do with the next election, get for do with future elections. Now we did say to them, the law is not just about waiting they happen tomorrow, it get for happen to there will be successive elections. Now we did say to them on the census, it's not just about waiting get for happen to this particular one, but to need a good census so that it will affect going forward the standard. We in position, now we dey look in the long term. Now them often in the conversation seem to focus, like say history started in 2023 and it's going to end in 2028, but that's not our position at all.
When I get a responsibility for let these 8 points succeed, and some of them get a timeline.
Absolutely.
According to, because I was not in the room when I be negotiate, according to Honorable Abdul Kago, the only paramount more than the 7 bullet points, number 7.
Forum, I guess, now your opinion, Dandy. But there's many provisions here now. 8 did it, so it can decide say na 7. If not been that way, they one put there for don't put them by order. Say number 1 is the most paramount.
Let me learn
maybe
this.
Maybe say all paramounts, but sorry, go ahead.
Forum, they only get the December 2026 timeline. Now the bullet point 7, where they talk about restructuring ECSL. And una get a responsibility because now una they in government. How una go ensure say una work within this timeline now that they don't agree for go back na governance, because then say for in a parliament get greater responsibility because some of these things then go for go parliament.
Khadija, the reason why I make President Bio even go ahead and constitutionally appoint Edmond Alpha is because President Bio care about the implementation of the reform and for do am in time for the next election. If by the provision that I just point out to you being continue for wait, if we don't continue for get ECSL without, keep in mind the former possibility on drop, we may get a vacancy for over 7 months. We for by then, see how we talk so. If we don't continue for get vacancy, they take to middle of next year. Because that process what I just outlined so can easily take up to 1 year. But President Bio doesn't want that. President Bio in commitment. The one that will do this thing, that will get a reform here. Let we get to a point, we will increase public confidence, we will make sure say we all know say, hey, then Yuki or perception, we all man if you say this person they do this, person they do this, then idea say, hey, Allah happen after election, President you don't want to let down the apple again going forward. So in terms of the timeline commitments, President Bio in commitment that day. APC just not see that part there. Once you get a leader of the institution now, and get the reform the now and we for work together quickly and swiftly for get to this December deadline. for let we all implement the reform.
They're
Yeah.
achievable.
Absolutely, especially if they unnecessarily delay the way we they see sometime boycott for 2 months and they don't get the country go be back for 2 months because we've been there and discuss certainty.
Particular about this boycott?
I'm not particular, not just the reality of the context of what Mekudea. If we've not been boycott, not for don't sit down and they discuss this particular thing. It's the reality of the context. And for me, now deprivation of the ordinary citizens from service system, especially at the I come up Kamakwe recently. I would tell you say the people in that council they don't know about say then tell people and say they don't know Kawuk. I go assure you of that. But again, I think that in the case in our town at the bridge. Now we focus on going forward. So on the timeline, your question, now President Bio in intention for move forward quickly with the reforms. Now that make a appoint a chief electoral commissioner, wait for this drawn out process, it done by the law, and that make it don't finalize and don't receive the reports, and that make it don't give the leadership of ECSL, Mr. Edmond Alpha, the mandate for institutes the reform here, for work with all parties, and for move fast, follow, get the things the way we want, where APC wants.
For you, the structuring just means for do some reform them na the institution, and this restructuring na Edmond Alpha na for spearhead them, and just say it happen. But this same Edmond Alpha, as of yesterday, nothing not change. The APC through the leader of the opposition at Parliament still believes enough for the day. So if somebody where they no want, how you go to spare the restructuring of the institution? How this moving forward go all water?
You get for ask APC that. We see me will tell you in our own position. I don't say by we position, Edward Alpha will conduct the next elections. Full stop.
So the restructuring no go happen without him? No,
the Edmond Alpha and they lead the restructuring and the chief electoral commissioner. I understand, my own understanding of the position of APC is that I don't name boycott for, but the goalposts don't shift. We'll focus on restructuring the structure, the system, instead of come by the clip we play. We'll focus on processing things like that. I understand, so I welcome them good ideas. I'm sure they have fantastic ideas. They've conducted the for, who will be good court for, who will say been complain about, who them tell we for go police for, who them tell we say, all those things, but Kailan courts by and all that. But we are in a new place. We willing for let we work together for ensure the restructuring of the institution, then processes, then systems, all of those experts they already come with recommendations. It's about implementation, it's about working together, it's about reforming some of the laws, it's about making sure this oversight committee, they don't set up this parliamentary committee, they're doing work without violating the constitution. Nobody can direct ECSL, they are very independent, they make it explicitly. But point number one. Yeah. So all of them things in the way you listen and pay attention to the fine prints, everything they do. So they expect, say we border and citizen at the APC, go work very closely with with the government, with ECSL, for move the electoral process go before and for increased trust and legitimacy for we all, because now we all get this country, now we all get the process.
But how trust and legitimacy go be improved? Where in the words of Honorable Abu Kabo yesterday, quoting and quotes, he say, it will be good if Edmond Alpha does not take us to the 2028 elections.
It will be good if I able to travel to space tomorrow morning. It will be very good if I get all the money I don't dream of. It will be I can come up with a strong list of. It will be good if I get the money now for build a SLBC new building and transform them. If you could, let me say, get money for do all this. We can wishes we can get. We live in a real world. In this real world, Edmond Alpha was appointed by the president, was approved by parliament, has been sworn in by the constitution of our country, will conduct the next elections. We all have to get used to that.
Mr. Minister, aside the boycott where the APC be the boycott, where they say they don't call off, something else be then at the table where they say if we not meet then demand and if they not withdraw Edmond Alpha, then go come out na the streets nationwide, pull them people and I do protest. As of now, they talk, we not see official release from the 8 say, then they say they don't pull at the table, they will not go protest again. The protest.
Yeah, yesterday, why you not ask them now? How me connect?
You connect because you're not government spokesman.
Yeah, but that's their own decision. I mean, then between them and law enforcement.
But in a democracy, most time they can say protest. Now wait this for show dissatisfaction.
Yeah, but I've been part of the boycott. I understand say the boycott don't end by this release, so I expect say we don't move away from that. But again, that now APC and prerogative. In a democracy, there are processes, rules, the way you follow for do different things. We go again. I don't want to speak for APC. I don't want to run commentary on the actions. I just want to point out the fact, and the fact is,
partners then.
Yeah, but I know talk for them.
So if
it will be wrong for that talk for them. I'm a partner then where I get boku respect for, where I value them contribution to governments, and like I say, some of them then I'm a party then where I hold in the highest of esteem, but I will not talk for them. I'll talk for President Bio and the legitimate government of Sierra Leone.
Let me look at some of the questions that we don't come inside now for you, Mr. Minister. The first one I will take from Facebook, Victor Akomengo, they say, ECSL is answerable to Parliament and by extension, the people of Sierra Leone. Its future cannot be determined by a single individual.
All right, we look at more messages. Now the YouTube channel, the very first message we will look at, James Teji say, Mr. Minister, boycott is not a new tactics in politics. The SLPP once boycotted during EBK's regime, so don't make it sound as if it started now.
Mahmoud Dadiba Kamara, they say the tripartite recommendations are part of the agreement for national unity. Why the SLPP are reluctant to implement the recommendations?
Sheko Mansare, na the YouTube channel, say they wanted to vote against the recommendation and debate on constitution. They wanted to amend the way of consulting political parties to appoint a commissioner instead of following the recommendations.
Ms. Kuda Mansare, they say, how can he lead when Edmond Alpha is one of the problems?
Bob Brown say, Mr. Ba, why praying and not saying and not speaking the truth to the people? This is too bad for our country because he said because you know it was a deliberate act for the president to select Edmond Alpha.
This other one they say, Mr. Patrick Musa Kamara, he say Honorable Kabu threw a red meat to we the grassroots yesterday for not making it clear to us that Mr. Edmond Alpha will not conduct the 2028 general elections. I'm really disappointed as a grassroots supporter of the APC. So sad for me.
Suleiman Kamara say where restructuring is discussed, it usually means changing leadership or commissioner, reforming electoral laws, improving transparency, making systems more trustworthy.
This one say it's a matter of semantics. The tripartite recommendation are part of the agreement for national unity. Let's take the agreement to Parliament, debate and ratify its content. This will necessitate the required constitutional and legal reforms that will generate free, transparent and fair elections.
All right, Part of Africa say if ECSL is going to be open and inclusive of the opposition, then Edmond Alpha is fine. APC is fine as well, only if they decided to do otherwise.
Usman Kamara, they say constitutional sacrosanctity and political settlements agreement is a key instrument in managing deep-seated disagreement. Mr. Minister, during this transition period, how can these agreements reflect on national unity for citizens to feel the good outcomes, drawing a line between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law? Strategic attention seems a deficit, thus breeding trust deficits.
All right, this one from Sheko Mansarese. Please, Mabel and Khadija, ask Siba if the implementation goes through, will the commissioners still continue their work or there is going to be a different thing?
All right, more messages. I go just read few. They'll cancel the minister. This one from Fode Mustafa say, you and all others talking on behalf of government will always say that you are willing to implement the tripartite agreement, but doing it now has become an impossible task. Even the SLPP knows that the 1991 constitution isn't good for a progressive democracy, but because it favors the government, you are hanging on to it.
All right, the final message will take for this time because there are so many messages. Esemebel and Khadija, you are making a favor to Siba this morning by saying that the opposition is deceiving their supporters, which is not true. The AG and Siba are completely saying two different issues.
All right, Mr. Minister.
I wish the board had been for talk.
Me and the AG different because I can tell you, say the AG and me are always on the same page.
I think somebody else sent message say the AG yesterday na AYV tell them say after the process, he say then go reverse the decision of the commissioners.
It's not possible.
But it's
not possible. I can tell and say that it's not possible. The AG don't be very clear, saying not even get the power for advice that, and the AG don't be clear on this point. The AG, one of we chief negotiator and a person where they engage with at. As I think Una know, AG and me, they consult and engage at every point, even before coming here. At the last person I talked to, the first person I talked to, I come here. So we're 100% on the same page. I can tell anybody that. But I tell the family and plenty, thank you for the comments and the text them. Again, as I say, I want to stay away from comments here. I want to invite people and for pay attention to the facts. And my own job and for provide the information. Somebody say the 1991 Constitution favor we will not say a problem. And what the person say President Bill 9 don't say from Pakabawi starts the constitutional review process. President Bill 9 don't say they done am. So the one person we committed for reform for bring forward a new constitution for this country na President Bill. The AG they lead the process. We they lead on the public comms process. You can get some text on iPhone. We get a website we dedicated to the reforms. We get a bill ready in front of Parliament. We get a bigger setup. So we want for change the constitution. But only the person also knows that you not get a country if you not get constitution. Until you change the constitution, the lawyer then can say the extant law. Not the law we did. You cannot say the recommendations. Now they now go become the law. Even the APC, the one they will talk, so they know say that they're not possible. We either live by the law or we don't. And so President Bill, we talk to the moral guarantors and say, in fact, for rule of law in this country, he risk in life for that. So the instruction we give at every point that we for be committed to and work towards the implementation of the rule of law. I think somebody also mentioned, say, wait to make reluctant for him. I'm going to make it clear. The government don't take concrete steps for the implementation of pretty much majority of the recommendations. That's 2 sets of documents, agreements for national unity, get 8 of them, 8 and many reading of it could tell you say we don't do pretty much everything we do on it. But some of them in an ongoing process will continue to be done. Of the 80-something recommendations I just mentioned, even the one we didn't talk about, the act is already done. The bill, the day before Parliament. When we own part as government, we take all of them, we can and go. So again, we may not do it at the pace we APC wants at every stage, but there's no reading of this where they suggest say we're not willing and committed to doing this. We're willing for engage the APC. And also all governments were willing for do the kind work we don't do so far with the opposition, with this level of details, with this level of involvement from the chief minister to the honorable vice president, highest level of government to the president. That level of engagement, they at every point, they demonstrate the government's willingness. And I think some comment there about Edmond Alpha no go do this, no go do this. I know one thing. A very important law will be clear on this particular point. Me, I believe say if now you Mabel will be appointed as chief electoral commissioner, people in the way for believe say you go cause problem. You know go straight for do this job. People in the go believe so. Elect will go all kind we go up and down. Somebody go believe so. And then go continue for talk. When they appoint me as Minister of Information, people in the way believe say I'm not going for able to do this work. It's okay. That's a democracy. You can get your opinion. But the opinion for be different from the facts and for be different from the substance. If somebody gets any credible reason why or not for appoint you maybe for this position, what the person for do? If for rights to Parliament, if we bring that information in a public, na the media, and then if we bring if you take and say you want to take now serious, it's in a crime you don't commit, if we go courts, not so. If the person not do that day, maybe you go through the appointment process, then they appoint you, then confirm you the presence where you in. Elect the person believe say maybe wrong, and maybe I still get for all the position, then get for do the work. Just like we elect person believe say me I'm not able to do this work. Once I don't go through that process, the president don't swear me in, now me na the substantive minister of information and civic education. And the same thing apply in the case of Edmond Alpha. People can believe what they want to believe, but now Sierra Leone, now public official, this na man will don't be teacher. He don't impact so many people in life in this country. I mean, an outstanding teacher. He choose for do public service. He risk in family life. He risk in life in the public. I think say some of the not to even criticisms, the accusation then we they don't try for do for smear in character, they're unfair. If you get evidence against somebody, it's a point where the user. You could have used it in parliament. You could take him to court. You not do that. He deserves the benefits of the doubt. And I think the public and history and posterity will only judge him by the conduct where he gets, where he did at this very important position for conduct this and subsequent elections. So I think on that point day, we don't make that point day over and over again. And that point day, I think is as clear as you could be that if you get an issue with Edmond Alpha, you will take that issue there appropriately. But until you do that, Edmond Alpha is properly seated and I will conduct the next election. The final point now about boycott. Somebody say, oh, not the first time for boycott. You know, my old teacher used to say, just because something bad be been done, no means say we be done again, it make them good. You know, they justify something wrong with a wrong, right? If you do the wrong thing 1,000 times, it's still the wrong things. Me comments on abandoning the people, especially again, I don't just talk about parliament, I talk about councils, especially that. For me, I comment what I hold, irrespective, especially also the threshold for which you can do for some two things. Say, oh, this is so, you know, we don't try all measures and all that. You don't exhaust the opportunities that we are available to we. At least that's my opinion on what the standard's supposed for be. And I think say in this case, that standard will not be met. But that's not my opinion. And as I say, I welcome APC back. We look forward for working with them and going forward.
All right. As to the wrap up, now we just wrap up with Osawi Stats, where you be the give highlights of major events and activities and governance. One major one we talk about na the feed salon, the Wakarona go do na the president in farm, the onion farm as well. And we just see the global index don't come out for Hungary. And we see Sierra Leone make some improvements because in 2024, we were at 117. This one we come out now shows so we did 108 out of 123 countries them with the index cover for government with the feed salon. Waiting na the projection one they expect because this now reports where they come out yearly. Now we are at 108 out of 123.
Yeah, I mean, I think within the World Hunger Index they show now that President Yu signature for his second time when a feed salon, they work, they make progress. We don't move from being one of the hungriest countries in the world to the move surely towards within the president's ambition call for when a food self-sufficiency. The president's one level will be food independent, food sovereign. They talk a lot about this. Challenges in there, we start from a very low baseline, but when you look at on every single sector, food imports we don't reduce them significantly. Food exports we don't increase them significantly. We get different manufacturing plants. The president don't set a personal example. Build not to just one farm, by the way. He get multiple farms. They farm fish, they farm animal, they farm different vegetables, different crops. He like really invested in this by personal example. But the real game changer, encouraging the public to farm and encouraging the private sector with really critical incentives. For the first time, we don't begin get weather-based insurance for farmers them, you know, at a certain level, and then they get access to insurance money. We get a lot of resources we are available For you, we get innovative ideas. You can take loan at very minimum interest and all of that. Access to tractors to increase all across the country. The production of food by any and all measure don't increase. Just like President Bill been saying, free quality school education, we see the country index on education significantly improve. When you don't come to this issue of food security, the president's dedication to this particular issue, we see the result. Now look, we're not dealing at the point it will one for day. The president one for day among the top 10 countries in the world when it comes to food security. The president's vision is, look, we need for work 20 times as hard as we work today, so that we will get to that point today by the end of in term. But again, I commitment to the president I make, not just for this term, but for the identity of this country. I make Feed Salon now a part of civic education, a part of everything where everybody else they do, the different ministries. And then what could they do? Not just for support food production, but then they support transportation, they support roads, bridges. You see, under the Feed Salon program, we don't build multiple bridges as well and all that. So I think I want to think the way every Sierra Leonean for look up to, and I want for this opportunity for call on every Sierra Leonean for joining the food value chain, not just as last consumer, but also as a producer. So you go do it. If you're able to plant, you plant. If you're able, like me, so now, involved in animal production. That's something with me interested in. My own family heritage, and I want to full and a cow there with the hard as well. But it just shows, say, the president in commitment to this issue is showing result. And that's something I think we all be proud of and applaud them for.
Contract should say the agriculture ministry under the Feed Salon, they do very well with index like this. How under the Feed Salon program, government for go ensure say by next year, at least salon people able for afford till them for it.
At the goal land every year for increased affordability. You see, afford not to an event, not a process. You can afford today, you know, afford tomorrow. So we see for doing for like be sustainable, in terms of affording. So price for the not to just price for good dong, but one of the best way for be self-sufficient for like produce what you eat what you grow and grow what you eat, right? So you get the incentive for all being grow, and at least they will give even better. Because if you make pepper, me make yabas, maybe we can share with each other, right? Rest, one for local rice production increase, let the rest be available in the market. Again, I see some people they say, oh, enough it's not this it's there for now. Yes, because we need for continue for provide the resources to farmers and incentive. We not just want to put more and more tariffs on the import. We will not increase production needs locally. So that's something they happen. Continue for expand that production. The minister can always talk about, we look at the hectares of land we cultivate on an annual basis, it will increase that exponentially every year. So rice production, by anybody look at in this country, they increase significantly. And you know what? Government don't manage for do the Feed Salon program without making significant cuts on the other signature when education. Because we want to maintain we leadership role. I make you see recently again, they appoint President Bill again, another champion for transforming education, because it don't maintain 20% investments in education. Because you know that two things President Bill always on talk about: for feed the belly and for feed the minds. Now the two things that they will make you a viable citizen, a productive citizen. When you get those two things, this country in future will change. And the other thing we critical about them too than the President Bill choose for investing is not choose short-term fixes. Could have chosen short-term thing the way you able to do quick, you build 2-3 road, now build 2-3 bridge. Although as I like from a clear to people, you don't build more roads and more bridges than APC do in the entire 11 years combined, and it's still layer 8. So by the time we get to that point, we don't double them. Because this is a president who take development, it take them personal, like how can say it's 10. It's take them personal. But you not just take them for do one for populist development. It take one way go be sustainable. We will truly change the trajectory of the country, education and food security.
Under the Feed Salon, how attractive is agriculture? Because the other day we been get Honorable Mundaya from former member of Parliament under the SLPP, where they say there are tractors in some areas but people not there for do the work. How attractive is agriculture?
It's part of the work we're supposed to continue for do. We'll not get to the point that we won't get. So you self now, all the kind of studios who all for the boast about we farm, we all for the post about we farm. We for bring the public along. First, with the focus on private sector, the focus on farmers, they're already within a farming community and all that. But the president, one of the things that we don't say, I want to change the image of what a farmer will be, right? You say before, farmers na being, when they say farmer, they see one old pa, old hoe, you see enclosed church. You say no, you say, President Bill want for become the image of the modern farmer. And you don't see they give award to young people. There's a young woman who they do exceptional work in farming. You get other young people them na kono, who they do some innovative farming. Who they change that, but you don't get for change overnight. Now a process. And I make us in a part of civic education as well. On the civic education platform, we they continue for encourage ordinary citizens for make them be part of the farming process, for let them learn agriculture, for let them be part. And then the ordinary Sierra Leonean, the other way go increase production, we need for buy Sierra Leonean. When you go to markets, buy the thing we don't say they make in a salon. When you go to supermarkets, go to the salon section. You buy, because every time you buy, you do support that local farmer, right? Then government saving for do additional big things there, including again the roads that would make biggest road network in any 10-year period in the history of this country. President Bill don't achieve that. Bridges, communities will don't be cut off. I go Kamakwe a couple of weeks ago. The number of bridges that would make for connect that community, if the people that you see the passion, the joy in their eyes, say yes. Then no say this good, now can change their destiny. So their investment in they continue for create that incentive. And we believe so we get there. And I think the index they show you say they head in the right direction.
All right, many thanks, Mr. Minister. We joined with this morning. The 8 bullet points them we wanna agree with the opposition. Now the communique wanna sign with the moral guarantor there, and also update citizens on latest development from government, especially under the Feed Salon program where now President Bio in second term top of a manifesto. This now, so we go end this edition of the Breakfast Show. Many thanks to the entire production team who supports you to you send your message. Don't forget for download the Liberty TV mobile app. If you na iOS user, just go now your app store, download the app, and you go get your TV on the go. The app they give you the opportunity for get access to all the content them will be produced for now. Mina Khadija, I'm going to say have a good day.
All right. Well, till we meet again, may welcome back. Have a lovely day and goodbye.
Building tomorrow today with Rightmove. Looking for quality, reliability, and innovation in your next big build? Choose Rightmove Engineering and Construction, Sierra Leone's trusted name in transforming ideas into enduring structures. We don't just build projects, we craft landmarks that stand the test of time. From state-of-the-art offices and modern homes to fuel stations, water systems, and infrastructure, our team delivers precision, passion, and perfection. At Rightmove, we are not following industry standards, we are setting them. Through cutting-edge technology, uncompromising safety, and sustainable solutions, we are building a brighter, stronger, and safer Sierra Leone. Visit us at 54 Campbell Street, Freetown, or call 078399475 or 077504338. Rightmove Engineering and Construction. Building quality, building trust, building the future.
all the grind, stress, and queries at the office. It's time to ease your brain, laugh out loud, and feel like the CEO. Laugh and jam with Kido. Hustle will make sense on Labor Day, Friday, May 1st, 2026. Venue, prestigious Pintumani Hotel, 7 p.m. Ticket prices: Kido, 500 millions. Answer, 1,000 millions. Amin, table for 4, 10,000 millions. Adil, table for 8, 20,000 millions. You don't buy yourself plenty. Now come and laugh. No excuse. Media partner Liberty Online TV and cooked by Eminence Africa.
I say it don't make sense. I don't make sense.
Freetown City Council public notice enforcement of frontage cleanliness. The Freetown City Council FCC has observed with serious concern that many owners and occupiers of buildings within the municipality of Freetown continue to neglect the cleaning and maintenance of their frontages, premises, and private drainage systems. In several instances where cleaning is attempted, waste is left piled near drainages, creating an unsightly, unhealthy, and environmentally hazardous condition. Part 3 of the Freetown City Council Solid Liquid Waste and Collection Bylaws 2024, Clause 8, subsection 1A clearly states, an owner or occupier shall maintain and keep clean his frontage, premises, and private drainage systems. Clause 8, subsection 2 further provides that an owner or occupier who contravenes sub-relegations 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5,000 new leons or to imprisonment for not exceeding 6 months or to both fine or imprisonment. The Freetown City Council hereby informs the public that full enforcement of the city bylaws has commenced. The FCC Metropolitan Police have been deployed across the municipality to monitor compliance, conduct routine patrols, and document violations. Any individual, business, or institution found contravening the above provisions will face immediate penalties, including fines not exceeding 5,000 new leons, imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months, or both fine and imprisonment as provided by law. A clean city is not only a legal obligation, it is a shared responsibility. When residents fail to maintain their frontages or misuse public spaces, the entire city suffers the consequences. FCC therefore urges all residents, businesses, and institutions to cooperate fully and maintain their surroundings. A clean city begins with you. Maintain your frontage, dispose your waste properly, respect public spaces, and obey the law.
Wise men bank with UBA. Wise women too with UBA.
School pupils in Sierra Leone, do you have a creative writing skills? Would you love to win a brand new laptop and a scholarship grant worth up to 50,000 new leons? Then, this is your moment. The UBA Foundation, with support from UBA Sierra Leone, in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, is proudly launching the 5th edition of the 2025-2026 UBA National Essay Competition, as the UBA Sierra Leone has teamed up with the Institute for Legal Research and Advocacy for Justice, ILRAJ, to make it bigger and better. Are you a senior secondary school pupil anywhere in Sierra Leone? Then get ready to showcase your ideas. Write a handwritten essay of not more than 500 words on the topic gender-based violence in schools, causes, consequences, and solutions. And yes, the rewards are exciting. First prize, a brand new laptop plus a 50,000 new leons scholarship grant. Second prize, 30,000 new leons. And third prize, 20,000 new leons. Remember, your essay must be handwritten, not typed. Upon submission, please include your full name, passport photograph, your age, town and district, school name, and of course, the name and phone number of your parent, guardian, or teacher. Submit your essay at any UBA branch, MBSSE Regional Office nationwide, or the ILRAJ office, or send us a scanned copy to CFC Sierra-Leone@ubagroup.com. For more information, please call us on 078 200 200 or 099 22 11 22. Deadline for submission, April 30th, 2026. So, sharpen your pen, share your ideas, and be the voice for change. Visual impaired students are also encouraged to apply. The UBA Foundation National Essay Competition, Unlocking Young Talent and Shaping the Leaders of Tomorrow. Write it, submit it, win it.
Watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.